Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to another episode of NeoForged series. This time it's going to be a two-part episode, so as in like two episodes which kind of connect. So the first episode will be making armor, and then this latter episode we're going to be looking at armor effects such as adding the ability to fly when wearing the armor, and also adding the ability for potion effects to be added, or even making your own potion effects, but we're not going to explain that dimension of it, such as regeneration, etc, etc. So the first thing we're going to be starting off with is actually creating the armor itself. The first thing we want to do is just create a folder, not in your data but rather in your main package, and just call this armor. And then we just want to create a class called example armor. So the reason we're creating a separate class rather than just using the standard armor item is because we're going to explore our armor effect in here. I mean all our effects such as flying and potion effects, but that will be explored in the next episode. So but for now we're just going to get its armor item and then implement item extension, and then all you just need to do is just implement the constructor. So just public example armor, and in here just going to do type just your type and the durability, and you're going to see why we do that second. And if you just get rid of that, and in here we want to do the following. So we're just going to do null for now. We're going to change that afterwards, and you're going to do new items.properties, and just do your durability type.get durability, so how long the armor lasts, and just do your durability. Alright, so that's for now. That's going to be changed. So we need to create our material now. So just head over to your init folder, and within here you want to create a class called armor material init, and this is where we're going to define all the material for how strong our armor is, the type of sound it makes when you equip it. So you're just going to do first of all create your deferred registry for it, which is going to be the armor material deferred registry. The registries, not NeoForged registries, armor material and our mod ID. And now we're going to make the actual armor material. So you're going to have your deferred holder armor material, and in here we're going to call this example underscore armor equals. Before we do that, just go back to example armor dot example material, and just leave it as there. And in here we're going to have armor material dot register, and then the name, so just example underscore armor, so armor. And sometimes I spell armor as U for some reason, so just if I spell it ARMOUR, just correct it if you will. And then here we're going to do in here I'm going to do new armor material, and open that up, and then you can just close this off. And in here we're going to have the following. So we want to determine the defensive value of the armor material depending on what armor piece it is. So you just do util dot make new enum map, and in here we're going to do armor item dot type dot class, and then you're just going to do the following. Going to do map armor item dot type and the integer, and you're going to call this, just call it whatever you want. I'm going to call it map, and then you're going to do here, and then open the supplier up, and then we're going to do map dot put, and then we're going to do it for the following. So when wearing armor, you have your boots, your legging, your chest plate, your helmet, and your body, and these are defensive values for each of them. So 2 for boots, leggings is 4. So if you can just decide what you want it to be. And then now we're going to determine the enchantability of the tier. This represents how good the enchants on this armor be. Gold uses 25. We put copper slightly below that. So I think that's the amount of enchants you can have. You can just double check all material, and that's basically enchant value as stated. And in here, well, I'm just gonna put 15. You can have whatever you want. And then now the next thing is the item that is used to repair that. I mean the sound that is used when equipping the item. So in a later tutorial, I'll show you how to make your own sound, but for now you can just use any of the pre-existing. So I'm just going to use the generic one there is. And then next bit on the thing we need is the ingredient you use in an anvil to repair your item, I mean your armor. And for that, we're just going to use our example item. So you're going to call a supplier, and you're going to ingredient dot ingredient of tags init dot item tag and dot example item tag. And then now we want to do a list dot armor. This is where we're going to define our armor texture. So you can have 2 layers, so you can create, and they'll be located here. So you can have in your asset textures. Before it used to be in a Minecraft, but now it's changed, and it's going to be in I haven't added it at the moment, but I'll add it in a second. And then it'll be textures. You'll have a folder models, or actually I have a armor, and it's going to be example layer 1, example layer 2, as you can see here. And the way you're going to get Minecraft to know it exists is you're going to do dot armor material dot layer, and then you're going to do resource location from namespace, and you're going to do tutorial mod dot mod id, and just the name of it, and it automatically look for layer 1, layer 2. And what I meant by having 2 layers is that you can also have another one, new armor text that will be rendered on top of the previous one. So it'll be example underscore layer 1 underscore overlay 1 for the outer texture, and I'll just paste in here if you want it for reference. And this is what it will look like here. So it'll be that it'll be the, rendered on top of it, and that's how you do it. How do you do it basically? All right. Once you've done that, now you can just move on from there. And now you just want to do the toughness of the value of the armor. The toughness value is additional value included in damage calculation. So if you want more information, you can just refer to the Minecraft wiki here. But only diamond and netherite have values greater than 0, so we're just going to return 0. And finally, the knockback resistance of value of the armor while wearing this armor. So basically the player becomes immune to some knockback to some degree if a player has a total knockback resistance value of greater than 1 or greater from all armor pieces combined. They will not take any knockback at all. Only netherite has a value greater than 0 here, so we're just going to return 0 because we don't want to really create an OP armor, but that's up to you. There's no restrictions on what you can do here. And that's basically just some information about that. In regards to anything else, we've basically created that. So now I just want to head over to your tutorial mod class and just do the following. So armor materials dot register the bus, and now we can actually create our armor. So head over to your item class, and in here we're going to need the following. We're going to need our helmet, our chest plate, our leggings, our boots. So all you have to do is public, just add a first public static deferred item, taken item a generic helmet equals items.registers, and in here instead of new item you're going to do new example armor, and the armor type, so armor, so just type dot helmet, and your durability, we're going to go with 15 here. So that's going to be how durable the armor is. You can just choose whatever you want, and you can just play around with it and see how it goes. And if you're just interested how the durability is calculated, is that if you go to durability here, the max, that's max damage. You can see the stack size one, you can modify it as wish. And if you do type.get durability, so it's basically that the durability defined in the type times the durability factor we get in here. And so when we define the durability in the type, it's these basically here. So 4 times 15, for example, if you did chest plate, or 2 times 15. So that's how durable it is. So that's how it's calculated if you're interested. And then now if you go back to your item in it, now you've done that. Now you actually want to, number 1, register the textures, number 2, provide the names, and then number 3, create the recipes. So we're going to be exploring shaped recipe builders as well in this episode, as we didn't explore it in the episode previous to, not this one before, the one before that. And then so if you just head over to your data, number 1 is going to create our textures. In here is just going to be simply, so the textures are going to be the items, so boots, chest plate, etc. So just go to your mod item, and in here just going to do item, helmet, chest plate, leggings, and boots. Alright, that's simple. We don't need to create any tags. So before we create a recipe, let's just create our lang. So I'm going to do here, just add it with our items. So I'm going to do armor, our helmet, chest plate, leggings, and our boots. Alright, next thing on the tier list is creating the recipes for that. And that's just going to be simple. We're just going to go to our normal, and in here we're going to have the following. Alright, so you're going to create a shaped recipe builder. So shaped recipe builder dot shaped, and the recipe category which falls on the combat, the item we want to create, item init dot helmet, and how many we want, which is just, obviously you got get it, and the 1, and the pattern is as follows. It's just your 3, think of it as like your iron or diamond, so just be 3 on top in the first column. No, if on the grid, so you have a 3 by 3. So in the first 3 parts of that column, not vertically, you'll have the 3 ingots, and then on the left and right side you'll have a 1, just creating your helmet, if you get what I mean. And then to do that, we're going to we haven't defined what it is, so just define it, and that symbol will represent our example item tag. You could create, in theory, the tags for your items, so it doesn't create any conflict with other mods, as in like if you want it to be shared. But usually the armor is just exclusive to your mod, and other mods probably wouldn't really need to import your mod, or even mod packs wouldn't really need to take your armor and do anything with it. So there wouldn't really be a use case for using tags in the armor, if you understand what I mean. And so you've pretty much done everything you need for this part of the episode. You've created your you can even go to your global loot modifiers and modify chests, like in the new Minecraft, in the new dungeon they've changed in 1.21, and have it where there's like a 50% chance of getting a certain armor piece, so just to make your mod a bit more appealing, if you understand what I mean. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And now if you just run your data generator and then run your game, you'll see that the armors appear in our creative menu. So alright, now our game has loaded. I'm switched to our game. You can see that armor is here. So if you just get here, these armors are the first armor I actually created when modding. Interesting story about that. And if you just equip it here, and just go into your game, you can see that our armor renders. Hooray! Obviously it doesn't look that good because, as I said before, it's the first armor I've ever made. So yeah, and the first Minecraft version I've actually modded it was 1.16.5. Yeah, it's been a while, about a couple of years. But you can see everything works, and you can just modify this texture or use any textures that you want. And that's pretty much it for this episode. Hope you have a great time, and the next episode I'll be exploring armor effects like flying. So that's it. Peace out. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and see you in the next episode.